The programme starts with the patients obviously coming to see one of our doctors, who then recommends that they attend that programme. Quite often the patient is usually aware that they're requiring donor eggs before they come to see us, so it's not usually a surprise. What then happens is we go through a panel of testing. That includes blood testing, any sort of other testing that the doctors require. The male partner then freezes a sperm sample. We ship that over to the Ukraine. The couple then pick a donor. They do that online via our web portal. And then what happens is the clinic in the Ukraine Intersono, they stimulate the donor and create the embryos. We then bring them back to Dublin and grow them out to blastocysts, where the patient then has their embryo transfer. For the patients, it is easy. For us, there's a lot of technical issues. We travel, for example, with the embryos and the sperm. There's always at least one member of the clinical team that travels with the samples, so they don't go by FedEx or DHL. They get sort of hand delivered and looked after by ourselves. They get taken as hand baggage, so they're not in the hold of a plane, and we sort of transport them to ensure there's no issues. But for the patients, the idea of this programme is to minimise the issues for them. So we take a lot of the legwork on, and a lot of the sort of the common issues that the patient would have with the travel. We try to minimise that by doing a lot of that for them. Certainly, one of the major issues for patients travelling abroad for egg donation is the being away from home and the time off work. And the programme that we have certainly minimises that. We can do this programme with the patients attending Sims perhaps only once or twice. And if they're from the UK, they can attend a local clinic for scans and things in between, and for tests as well. We do most of the flying. I mean, obviously, if a patient is coming from outside of Ireland, they've got to travel to Dublin, but Dublin's a fairly simple place to get to. Most of the cheap airlines have flights in and out of Dublin, and they get as far as Dublin, but we do the long distance travel for the patients, so they don't have to come any further than Dublin. They only have to go to here and attend Sims. Well, I mean, the Spanish clinics have built up the reputation of providing egg donors, and it's somewhere where egg donors are available. I guess Ireland doesn't come up on the map as a place where people automatically think egg donors are available, and in fact it's not. This is why we travel to the Ukraine. The average age of a woman having their children in Ireland, I think, starting families now, is certainly early 30s. So by the time they're ready to donate, they're kind of older than we would like them to be, whereas in the Eastern European countries, the women are having their families younger, so they still have their family in their 20s, which means that we can get donors who have completed families and we know don't have any issues with fertility, and who thereby can donate for us by the time they're kind of 30, and that way we can provide younger donors for our patients. The success rates are certainly amongst the highest for any egg donor programme in the world. Obviously, the younger the donors we have, the better the success rates. It's the same with IVF for patients using their own eggs. The younger they are, usually the better the success rates. So the young donors we can provide from the Ukraine give us rates somewhere between 60 and 70%, which are certainly much higher than the European averages that are published, at least, and are certainly, as I say, amongst some of the best in the world.